Okay.
All right. You usually start, Laurie Kilmartin. You usually
I
say,
do?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Every single week.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I apologize.
220
I had no idea
episodes
what
later.
an asshole I was.
Well, allow Kyle and I to tell you.
It's nice when you're doing it when I'm in the room for once.
Okay, so today the state of Kansas won a football game, I understand.
Yes, of course.
And that's not true. But so
Trump tweet. Okay, yeah.
allow me to infuriate you immediately.
Okay.
When I saw that there was a Mr. Peanut ad,
Yeah.
and there's a baby nut.
Yeah.
All I could think was it's the old sack of snacks.
Leave the greatest comedy club that ever lived alone.
Oh my God. The laugh lines or whatever.
Laughs Unlimited. Laugh Lines was a different club someplace else.
Okay,
I have worked at Laugh Lines, but I can't remember where. It might have been.
Somebody told me they wanted to
Fuck,
call
that's
it.
gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Where was Laugh Lines? No.
Where was
I
it?
keep thinking, no, that wasn't it. Oh, fuck. Well,
All right.
it'll
Well,
come to me or someone will tell me.
It's like 1:00 in the morning in my head. I just got off a plane.
Yeah.
And
when did you land?
I landed at 6. Didn't get home until like 8ish. And
Coming
then,
back from LAX?
Yeah. LAX.
Not worth it. Fly out of Burbank.
No, because then I have
Okay.
to trade more than 2 flights. Because I'm coming from Indiana. Because Indiana, there's nothing direct,
Right.
and I would have to fly. I would have to change 2 planes. So,
all right.
yeah. Though I did change my flight a lot because Maria's Jess makes all the flights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gwyneth?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She does. Maria pays her to do that too.
Yeah.
And it's great. She takes care of the travel, except for, and she didn't know she was doing this, is that whenever she books us together, I end up with a middle seat. And so I call up Delta and say, please get me out of that fucking middle seat. I'm about to spend 4 days with Maria Bamford. I don't need to spend 5 hours sitting next to her. And so there was no way to change it. So I had to change flights. And then
That's how far you went to not sit next to Maria Bamford on a plane?
Yeah, that's exactly how that should be interpreted. Oh, by the way.
Wow, you are hardcore.
I have 9 stories, and one of them is that our Max Fun, the drive thing is coming up, right?
Right,
the
right.
Max Fun drive. Maria said, I want to go, I want to be on the show, and we talk about what makes a real comic.
On our podcast?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would
For
be
the
amazing.
special episode for
Yes!
Max Fun, it would be hilarious.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
And just because she was talking about how she's been taking these club gigs.
Yeah.
And, the walk-ins, Friday second shows.
Really?
And she's like, a real comic could do them. And I was like, you just told me that wasn't, because she's constantly telling me that I don't have to do things because it's a false equivalency, the real comic thing that we all live with.
The thing, anyone could walk in and you can entertain him.
Yeah.
And she's saying that's not what I do, or that's not what I like
Well,
to do.
she was forcing it. She's been forcing herself to do it because she tells me that I don't have to fall for the real comics complaining.
But she's going to
But
do
then
it.
she does it.
Okay.
So it's this whole double standard of. And by the way, I got offered a cruise ship.
Yes.
And not a Joco nerd cruise ship where my people are on a cruise ship, but
Right.
just normal people.
Nora people who out of all the
cruise.
possible vacations you could ever take in the world, decided to go on a boat with themselves and norovirus.
And 6,000 other people
Yes.
In a floating city.
A boat, a cruise ship is being quarantined off the
Right
coast
now.
of Italy with 6,000 people on it because one woman on the boat has
a cough.
might have coronavirus.
I know. There was some masks on the plane tonight.
Yeah, I bet. When is? I mean, if it hits, if it actually becomes it's a pandemic, but if it becomes something here in the United States. Are people going to go to comedy clubs? Should we be talking in mics? Seriously, this is like a real thing.
Well, I like that. We're like, let's bring it back to stand-up comedy.
That's what's really important is how coronavirus affects
it's going
my
to affect
spots.
your booking.
Yes.
Yes. It's just like, I'm trying to get some longer sets. And are people going to come out to those shows?
Will will this finally be the era of the doing a character to
What's
to a
that
front
Ian
facing
Abramson?
video?
You know that
What?
Ian Abramson, 7 Minutes in Purgatory?
No.
Did you ever do that show? So,
Well, I've done his show. I don't know if that's what it was called.
It's 7 Minutes in Purgatory is the one where you
At the
are in
Lyric?
a room talking into a camera.
No.
The audience is in another room.
Oh.
And so you have to just you're just running lines to no one. And they're laughing, but you can't tell.
Oh my God.
And so
horrific.
right, it's terrible. It's a I don't know anyone who
What
liked
night is it?
But exactly. But we
sounds
all
awful.
said yes.
When is it?
But I think it's more just one of those but that's
Yes.
what if stand-up comedy becomes that, you know?
Well, I mean, you could have an audience.
Where you just see the hearts come up on the sort of corner
I
of the
guess, or
screen.
you could just hear them laughing. Yeah, I don't know. But every time I'm in a crowd, I'm like, is this going to end soon? What we're doing, is it going to end?
Oh, the stand-up comedy of the
Just any sort of crowd situation. If we can't be,
because of pandemics and population and stuff.
coronavirus, at least for like in the next year. I mean, if it got really bad, it would just kind of.
But they thought
completely just. I know they thought that about other stuff, but this one is actually way more contagious, and people.
How is it
contagious. They're spreading the disease before they show
airborne?
symptoms. So, like, you feel fine, I feel fine. We could both have it right now, and we don't know it.
Right. Is it so it's airborne?
Yes,
Okay.
it's highly contagious.
Well, let's live in fear.
Okay,
And let's
that's how I was raised, so it feels normal to me.
Yeah, you might want to
I was raised in fear.
Yes. Have you gone up this week?
I have. In fact, I just drove up from the Long Beach Laugh Factory.
Oh, okay. How's the parking there?
Listen, the parking's fine.
Okay.
Note to self: don't do a show on Super Bowl Sunday. I think I've made that note to myself 400 times for the last 33 Super Bowls.
Right, exactly.
Since fucking Joe Namath was playing football, I've noted to myself, don't do a show on this night. And I forget. I just don't even know what night it is. I just say yes. And there wasn't that many people there. It was fun though.
Right,
I think I fucked around and I'm like, oh, I changed the order of this thing. Yay, I think that's it. Who knows if it's it? I felt it was it like 17 times in the last month, and then I bring it up a chunk, not a joke, a chunk where I'm just whatever, and it's just taking for fucking ever, and that's life. That's my life.
Yeah, that's everyone's life. I was like, I'm working on. I'm trying to mix up the order and stuff, and what I insisted on doing with Maria's because I was featuring for Maria at the Indianapolis Helium,
right?
And there's a room upstairs, the 50-seater. That's the one that Mark Grossman was talking about booking me in. And I was talking to the guy that was working there, and he said that they put him up.
The comic?
Yeah, they put up the headliner for the 50-seater at the same Westin that we were staying at. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, I just want to come and play Indianapolis during that board game convention to save money. But
the guy you're talking to that was working, does he have your credits? Does he have...
Well, I mean, the thing is they all.
I'm
by
just
the
saying,
end of
like
this
all
thing,
things
they all
being
do.
equal, you should be headlining any club you want.
Yeah,
in this country.
Yeah, all things being equal, I should be able to. And what I told everyone at the merge table, I was like, I'm headlining in Bloomington, hour and 15 minutes from here, in March.
Nice. Yes.
In 6 weeks. In 6 weeks, I'll be in Bloomington. And a couple of people said, yeah, you're also headlining in Dayton the week before that, in 5 weeks from now. And I'm coming to that show. And I was like, oh, good. Because then, you'll get to see the other 40 minutes of the 60 I'm working on.
Where are you working in Dayton?
Funny Bone.
Oh, cool.
Dayton, first time ever. It's a Stroop.
Was it? Oh, really? I thought he made people like fly in.
No, I flew in. Cost me $1,000.
When?
20 years ago? Yeah, it would have been 2001.
So he finally booked you?
Oh,
20
he didn't
years
book
later?
me.
Oh.
TJ Mark Walter got him to book his client.
Okay.
I happen to be
That's
that
what they're
client.
supposed to do.
Right. Right. TJ Mark Walter's very good at his job.
Yeah.
And I genuinely love TJ Mark. I've always wanted TJ Mark Walter to be my agent. And now that he is, it's sort of a dream come true.
You're a lucky lady.
It's true. And then he asked me if I wanted to do a cruise ship, and I said, I'll try.
Yes. Yes,
I'll try it once.
Let's see. Maybe you'll enjoy it. Can Andy go with you?
He can, but he can't go to this one. It's at the end of February.
Where
happens,
is it?
Fort Lauderdale, out of Fort Lauderdale. So it's probably one of those Caribbean ones.
Oh,
I can't.
fucking sweet.
I'm not really beach people.
No, but you are reading on an Adirondack chair by the pool, people. Right?
Possibly, yeah. Or having maybe a massage out on the prow of the boat. That's one of my favorite
What's a
memories.
prow?
A prow, that's the pointy bit in the front.
Oh, man.
There you go.
Look at you.
I had a massage on the prow of the boat in the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. I had a massage.
I didn't know you've been to Australia.
Twice. Well, I've been to Australia 4 times, but
Doing stand-up?
Yeah, the last time I only did stand up once, and that was because you got to do stand up.
Oh,
Tax and pay Democrat, but I'm not a moron. And so, yeah, no, I went in 2004. And just did a couple of sets while Maria did the, essentially I've been wandering, riding that coattail since probably 2000, 2001. And, so.
That's what I tell young comics. Find a fucking coattail.
Yeah.
And grab on.
And I told Maria, anytime you want to drop me off in the middle, as far high as, take me as high as you can and do whatever you can. And she's like, and then when it switches, I would like to open for you. And I was like, fair enough. And so, but we went to Australia where she won the sort of the Perrier Prize for Melbourne that year.
Wow.
And then the next year, Melbourne had me come not to do the festival, which was a month long, but to do the road show. I did 9 weeks on the road.
Oh my God.
Around Australia.
I love it. That's my dream. I want it. I want that one day.
In the moment,
yes,
it was horrible.
Yes.
In retrospect, I want to do it again and again and again. But they're not doing the full 9. No one does the full 9 weeks anymore. I mean, I was out with Greg Fleet, and he had just had antabuse put into his body so that he couldn't do heroin anymore. So he was drinking a fifth of Jack every day.
Whoa.
And it was
is he an Australian comic?
Yeah, he's essentially he's sort of Marinish.
Okay.
He's been given 1,000 chances, and I believe he's sober right now. But Greg Fleet's an amazing comic. You would love.
I love those guys. Oh, I got a soft spot on my heart.
Yeah, you do.
For those guys that need one more chance, come to Mama. Come on. Let me give you my retirement fund.
Your mama.
Yes.
And did you go to the WGA? Speaking of Mama, because Fabulous wanted to see some boob shots.
I went
Jackie
to
Fab.
She did. I went to the WGA Awards. We were nominated.
Congratulations.
It
is an honor to be nominated.
It is expected. We lost to John Oliver.
Okay.
But it was a lot of fun. Let's see. Gwyneth Paltrow was there. Her husband came up with this idea that my son actually participated in. It's called Young Storytellers. And so they teach kids how to, write a script. And then like my son wrote a script and then other kids acted it out.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Just in public schools around Los Angeles.
So you know him.
No, I don't know him.
Oh.
I mean, it's a giant program.
Oh, okay.
So they do it in a lot of schools. So.
Right. And you didn't do it. This is just an anecdote about Gwyneth Paltrow's husband.
He was being given an award for coming up with
creating that program. Oh,
yeah.
cool.
And I was like, okay, that's cool.
There you go.
And Gina Yashere was a presenter. And I didn't know the story. She's a co-creator of Bob Hart's Abishola, right?
Okay.
Which I haven't seen, but I'm sure I will.
Yes, you will.
Yes,
that'll be great because of the two of us, someone should.
Yes,
and it's always going to be you.
Well, I also don't have regular television. Like I cut the cord, and so I got to go into Hulu to watch it. It's on CBS.
Okay,
it's a Chuck Lorre show. It's like once you have Chuck Lorre and CBS together, it's on for at least 5 years. That guy doesn't put anything on the air unless it goes into syndication.
Okay.
So I didn't know she had anything to do with it.
Oh no, I've heard. Yeah, because I felt. Yeah, I worked with her a bunch. Yeah.
But she. Well, do you tell the story then?
No, I don't know the story.
I just know what I read in our group text.
In the thread from
they came up with the idea of a Nigerian woman and a white American man falling in love and realized, well, we don't have any black people or African people even within 500 yards of this idea. So
Right.
I guess they Googled Nigerian stand-up comic, and she came up, and that's they're like, hey, will you help us make this look legit? But I guess now her contribution has been so overwhelming. She's executive producer of the show, which is fucking amazing, and it's a lot of money. So that's cool.
Yeah. And that's so interesting. It's that unicorn thing where they're like, they don't exist, and then if you Google it, you're like, well, she knows at least 3 other people of African descent who do stand-up comedy, so why don't you fucking find one?
Well, she talks about it on stage. Apparently, I haven't seen this yet, but she said that they wanted to name the character Lupita, and I didn't know this. Lupita's not an African name.
I don't know where that name came from.
Well, Lupita Nyong'o from Get Out, and was she in 12 Years a Slave? Yeah, she had
she's an actress.
Yeah, you know her. She's gorgeous.
Oh, thanks. There we go.
Oh, she was.
There's a Star Wars. Kyle speaks Jackie. She's in Star Wars. She played Maz. Played Maz. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good for her.
Yeah. So anyway, so she was there, and Nico Santos was there. He's a San Francisco comic who's in Superstore.
Okay.
Aisha Tyler gave something away.
Oh, she was one of the presenters.
Yes. Okay. And then the most awesome was Lorraine Newman.
Right.
Gave the Patty Chayefsky Award to Meryl Marco.
Yeah.
Which is like.
It is that
female comedy writer heaven.
Right. That is Lorraine Newman is of course a national treasure. And
yeah.
Meryl Marco is a goddamn I've read several of her books.
Yeah.
But the one that I love the best is Cool, Calm, and Contentious.
Yes, I love that
and
one.
I've talked about it before, and it is fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Because even though all of it isn't about her mom,
enough
of the essays are about her mom for me to want her to write more essays about her mom.
Yeah, and it was so funny because she was sitting in the movie star pit, you know?
Oh, okay.
And Gina Davis was there.
Oh, wow.
Holy fucking shit. She looks amazing. She doesn't
still playing baseball.
She just glides across the floor. She's like,
really?
To me, I think
so
she's
graceful?
an angel. Yes.
Okay.
Super tall, super skinny, and super pale. She really does look like an apparition.
Okay.
And then Anna Gasteyer hosted.
Okay.
And she's from SNL.
Okay.
Okay. And you would recognize her if you saw her.
Yep.
She was fucking brilliant. She sang a song at the end about all the nominees that was hilarious. And if the Oscars, you know, like they should just be funny like that. Just fucking be funny. And fuck, who else? I'm blanking. Yeah, I don't know.
But so many people, I bet.
Yeah,
Writers Guild, right?
Diane Keaton.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Diane Keaton. Oh, it was like female comedy heaven. Diane Keaton gave an award to Nancy Myers, the director Nancy Myers. Yeah.
Who does Mingling Wrinkles? Doesn't she do a lot of those, like when old people fall in love?
Yeah,
TV?
old people fucking. Yes.
Yeah. Mingling Wrinkles.
Soon to be my life, I hope one day. But anyway, I didn't know she co-wrote Private Benjamin. I mean, fucking brilliant.
I just want to go out to lunch. I want to be normal again. Remember that line, Goldie Hawn?
Yeah.
From Private Benjamin? It was like, I want to go shopping. I want to go out to lunch. I want to be normal again.
So it was like a look at her career, and it was just really
Nancy
amazing.
Myers.
Yeah.
That's an amazing duo. Diane Keaton. Holy shit.
And okay, I don't know this girl's last name, but okay, so who was it? Watchmen won some Watchmen. Okay. So they win, I forget what they won for. So they all the writers go up on, and then they're
the pile of writers. Yeah.
So there's like about 10 or 12 writers.
Yep.
And so the showrunner does a quick, I think it was Watchmen, I forget. The showrunner does a quick, thank you, thanks my wife, whatever. And then he said, I'm going to give all these writers 10 seconds of our time. And so they all, thanking my husband,
Yeah.
And then this woman whose first name is Stacy, and she has 2 last names. It's hyphenated. She's black. She just goes, hire black women. And then she leaves back out.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
She also, and I kept seeing her name. She's written on she was nominated, I think, for 4 WGAs.
Wow.
Because she's written on so many shows.
She's like, feel
this
free to
season.
hire someone else.
I'm tired
She's
of
like,
working.
I have work, and it's
Liz,
great.
Liz Feldman won.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, for Dead to Me.
Oh, that's awesome.
And she I met her. She used to be a part of a comedy team with Pammy Ribon, Ribon, right?
Okay, yeah.
We met at Aspen like in 2004.
Right. I've met,
And she worked on Ellen and
yeah. And what about was Emily there?
She was not there.
Okay.
Was she at the East Coast once?
Oh, because of Barry?
Barry won some stuff too.
because Barry won some stuff.
Yeah.
I watched that first season of Barry. It was quite honestly very uncomfortable. It was so well written and so funny, but so dark.
Oh, yeah.
I've decided I would rather be killed by Barry than watch more of it. I would love to act on Barry or be killed by Barry instead of watching Barry because it's so good.
I don't know that that's a recommendation.
None of that is going to happen.
He's really good. He's really menacing.
Yeah.
Which was startling.
Right, because he's sort of just he looks like that white every guy.
Yeah, we were at work at Conan on Friday. We were watching. It was Peyton Manning It was a sketch from SNL, and Peyton Manning was on. He was defending himself, and they were reading his text to him.
Yeah,
he was just playing the dumb athlete, and he was really funny. But Bill Hader was the judge, and he was hilarious. Okay,
that's awesome.
And I think I got everybody. And Diane Keaton. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's amazing.
It was really cool. And then my feet hurt, and I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Did you dress up and put a lot of makeup on?
I wore a dress.
You wore a dress.
I just wore normal makeup. I don't know how to do makeup, and I didn't want to go. And I got there at the last second. I wanted to leave.
Do I get a set? There's no set for me.
Everyone's fucking married. Like it's couple, and everyone's thanking their husbands or their wives, and I'm like, all right, I'm another Writers Guild Award where I'm single. Like it keeps like every fucking Christmas party,
right? Year
after year after year, whatever.
We have got to get you laid. Oh my God, where are we at here, Kyle?
We are at 21:57.
Why don't we take an early Max Fun break?
We are so thrilled at your interest in attending Hieronymus Wigginstaff's School for Heroism and Villainy. Wigginstaff's beautiful campus boasts state-of-the-art facilities and instructors with real-world experience. We are also proud to say that our alumni have gone on to be professional heroes and villains in the most renowned kingdoms in the world. But of course, you are not applying to the main school, are you? You're applying for our sidekick and henchperson annex. You will still benefit from the school's amazing campus, and you'll have a lifetime of steady employment. Of course, there's no guarantee how long that lifetime will be.
Join the McRoys as they return to Dungeons & Dragons with The Adventure Zone Graduation, every other Thursday on Maximum Fun, or wherever podcasts are found.
And we're back.
Yes.
5 shows, sold so much merch.
Oh my God, tell me about
Almost
it.
sold out of merch.
I need to hear it.
It was, I brought...
I need to hear it.
I brought over 40 t-shirts. I sold them all.
Wow.
What
sizes?
Small through XX.
All the way. So
yeah. I'm discontinuing.
Maria's a tiny little lady. Are her fans tiny as well, or they run the gamut?
They run the gamut. They run the gamut. They were a little drunkerson on Friday second show,
right?
And there was a guy in a wheelchair who got handsy with her, and she was trying to be nice to him, and he was like, and so we were talking to this. I was like, "Hey, Dean," security guy, and he got over there late, and Maria got herself out of it. But the dude was, you're like, I don't know if he was just hammered and just decided to, get into a little bit of squeezy, petty fuckwit, and but it was packed. It was packed with humanity, all different sizes, shapes, colors, and heights, and and so like
did she do a door deal?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Tell me.
For the week.
Oh my God.
Sure. Kyle would like to see a number.
Wow.
There you go.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it. She overpaid me. You got to love that.
I do love that.
Yeah. It's
Jackie's not writing that number down.
Well,
Whee!
To feature?
Yeah.
Pretty good, right?
I'll
Plus-
take it.
Plus air and hotel. That'll do,
Yeah.
right?
Cool.
And it's not as crazy as it was a couple of years ago because we've actually had a conversation about how that was absurd because she was
And-
paying me a third.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's nice, but
It's ridiculous.
At some
You are
point, you're
correct.
like, I can't keep this up.
Right.
And so I either don't work with this person or I adjust.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wanted to keep working with her. Because
course.
here's the thing about the Maria Bamford fan. These are wonderful additions to my own fan collections.
Yes.
Because they are super nice people.
Yeah.
They're very smart. She's got a new 10 minutes she didn't do one of the new ones that I was like, and she's been working on this one bit about, I don't want to give it away, but
Okay.
but for like 4 years, you know how you have a
Yeah.
premise
Yeah.
that will not work and you will not let go of it.
Yes.
And we do joke machine back and forth, and she's been working on this joke for 4 or 5 years. And in the beginning, I was like, I don't know. And there's only one rule to joke machine is you can't say, I don't know that you should be doing a joke about this. But I believe that rule was instituted when I said to her, I don't know about this joke. And so, and
Okay.
it's essentially about, I'm just going to write.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's about that. And so it's really hard to do, right? And to make it funny
Yes, it's
and
tricky.
and to do all these things. It's
A lot of
super-
obstacles you have to.
right, a lot of
surmount.
obstacles. You got to build it right, and then
Yeah.
you got to make a good enough punchlines. And she's got 4 awesome punchlines at the end of it right now, and it's long. It needs to be tightened up, like
Yeah.
everything. But it's gonna be great. And then she's got, some good. She's got some other. She's got a children's book joke that's amazing, and one other thing. But then and her special just came out on Amazon and everywhere, right? So she's like, because now she's in that weird place, right, where the special is very popular. So who
so
knows
she can't
who's
do
seen it,
any material from it.
right? Or she's got to do material from it.
Yeah.
And
So is she? She's
Yeah.
sort of hybrid.
yeah, she's writing as fast as she can. This week she's doing those 2 p.m.s over at the clubhouse
Cool.
just to try to get more stage time. But she's only doing 30s over at the clubhouse, and it's free. You can go. You can throw Jason Van Glass a couple of bucks.
Wow.
Or the clubhouse is
Yeah.
what you end up throwing it. But so that
Awesome, man.
yeah, and watch her sort of wrestle through some new premises and stuff.
Sounds great.
Yeah, but she's it was awesome. My stuff, I decided that I was going to work on the 20. I was going to open and close with essentially the 5 and 5 that work. And then I was going to use the middle 15 to do all the stuff that is still too chunky and too clunky.
Yeah.
It's a lot of my dad's stuff that has that just they're long stories. And I was also working on the Delta Sky Club bit. Yeah.
Are you coming for Delta?
I'm not coming for Delta. I'm coming for people who don't know how to be in a Delta Sky Club with their
right.
children.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
I do.
So people in the audience, Jackie and Laurie fans, and they're like, "We heard that on the show." I was like, "Yes, yes." You did." You've heard a lot of things on the show. Somebody sent me $10 via Venmo because of the last episode and the crazy Nazis in Rosemont.
Aww.
They're like, "Get yourself a cup of coffee. Treat yourself right." And I was like, "Thank you."
Oh, we sold another notebook.
Oh, we sell another notebook?
I'm going to take it to the post office on Tuesday morning. So if anyone wants to buy one tomorrow, today,
Right.
Monday, whenever this drops,
Right.
please do it.
Do it now so that when you
Otherwise,
go to the post office.
it'll take me 7 more months to get it to you.
Right. If you have it packaged, I'll take it with me. And,
I
and do
don't.
it
Of course
tomorrow.
I don't.
Of course you don't. There you go. No worries.
I'll do it on Tuesday.
You got it.
Okay.
And yeah, notebooks. What easy enough, right?
Yeah.
Just Jackie and Laurie show.com.
Yeah. So
Let's see. So I'm doing Bloomington the 12th, 13th, and 14th of March, but the 4, 5, and 7 of March I'm dating Funny Bone,
dude, you have so much work.
which is and I'm doing Dr. Grins.
Yay!
And so that
look at my grin.
Yay!
I had a good time there.
I know. I'm hoping to have a good time there. The last time I did it was with Jack Mayberry.
Wow.
I was featuring with.
What's he doing now? Did he
I
move
believe
to
he's still.
Texas?
No, he's grinding it out still. He's
He's still on the road?
Yeah, he's still doing the road.
Jack
Mayberry? Yeah, he's still doing stand up.
Fuck.
Shout out to Jack Mayberry, you guys. He was on Carson.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was not Carson Daly. Johnny Carson. The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
And
Where's he working?
I don't know. I mean,
How
I
do you
know
know
is
he's working?
because I mentioned Dr. Grins came up. I mentioned Jack Mayberry to somebody else, and I was like, I'm connected to him on Facebook.
Yeah.
And so I see sometimes that he's working around.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why stop? It's
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah, you're
Keep
preaching to
going.
the converted.
Oh, I'm preaching to the insistent.
Although, as people started racking up their awards and accomplishments at the WGA Awards, I was like,
Yeah.
what would I have done had I not had to go up on stage every fucking night or every other night and just, you know what I mean? Would I have made a show? Would I have, I've had like momentum in my life where I've written stuff.
It's
and then,
the Laurie Kilmartin what ifs. Why wouldn't you have an attack of the what ifs?
well, you know,
That's what you do though, because you're sitting there.
I'm like, I was on a fucking ski lift with Liz Feldman,
Mhm.
15 years ago, and now she has a show on Netflix that's brilliant,
Mhm.
and I just performed for 15 people at the Long Beach Laugh Factory.
Right. Joni Marchenko is she was one of the executive producers of Will and Grace.
Wow.
And Murphy
was she a
Brown.
stand-up?
Yeah, that's where I met her. Because when I moved
Wow.
here, did I ever tell you? Is when I moved here, I ran into Joni Marchenko like 3 or 4 months into moving here.
Is she
at
from
the
where?
Improv. She's from here, I think. But she
Okay.
was working on Murphy Brown at the time as a producer and writer.
Okay.
And she said, and I had met her in Minneapolis where she decided she wanted to do more stand up. So she came in like 90. No, it had to be it had to be later than that, whatever. But she spent like a year in Minneapolis working the Comedy Gallery. And she already had writing credits and stuff like that and stand up credits like the
Yeah, A-list.
A-list.
Yeah.
And
Sandra Bernhardt show.
right. And so she had done short sets. She wanted to work on longer sets.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to see if she could do, more road stand up and if she wanted to do it. And so for a year, she lived in Minneapolis. I don't know if she did much road stuff, but she did the Comedy Gallery in St. Paul a bunch. And I would run into her there. And so when I moved to Los Angeles, I ran into her a couple of months in at the Improv. She was wearing she would look so fucking glamorous. She was a very good looking woman.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but she said, I'm going to do you a favor, Jackie. And I was like, yeah? And she goes, I do, if I like you, I do one favor, not another one. Don't ask. But I'm going to do you a favor. And she wrote a part for me on Murphy Brown.
Oh,
And she
cool.
made it integral to the plot. So it couldn't be cut.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I ever auditioned with all other black men. I always audition with all other black men. I am cast opposite the roles of black men.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
a security guard. It was an airport cop.
Okay.
And on Murphy Brown, and then she went the next time. I think I ran into her a couple more times, but the next time I saw her and talked to her, she was executive producing on Will and Grace, and we were standing at the bar, and she goes, I would get you on Will and Grace, but we're only booking gay people right now. When are you going to be gay, Jackie? And I was like, not yet. It's not happening. And, I went to Eddie's thing. Did you go to Eddie's thing?
No.
Okay. So Eddie's the bartender at the Improv.
Right.
And he has been doing it for 40 years.
Right.
And they decided to have a big party
Mm-hmm.
for him where he was forced to sit in the front row and listen to sort of a live where he was at his own wake.
Oh my God. Crazy.
And so comic after comic got up.
Yeah.
And it was all dudes, by the way.
Hmm.
And Christella went up, I guess,
Okay.
before I got there. But
Not
I
a
think
lot of hard drinking ladies at the bars, right?
Just he
you.
served me my last drinks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was 9 shots of Rumplemints.
Okay.
No, 11, and 9 beers. Yeah.
In one
So-
night?
Yes, that's why I got a DUI.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wait,
it
you
was-
got a DUI leaving the improv?
Yeah. I made it almost.
Oh.
I made it over Laurel Canyon.
Oh my God! You drove on Laurel Canyon with that in you?
in a stick.
So irresponsible.
It was not responsible. It was irresponsible.
Oh my God!
It turns out it's also against the law. So the police officer who
Wow.
stopped me was a big fan of that not being continuing. So
that was a hero.
that guy. He was
Jackie,
like,
what if you'd have hurt somebody?
well, right? No. To this day.
Oh my God!
And I had my friend
do you
Amy.
have panic attacks thinking about it sometimes?
No, but you clearly do. It's been 20 years.
I don't know if I'll get over this.
It's it was almost 22 years ago.
Wow.
So but the thing is, I thought that Eddie was going to sit in the corner like the fucking Godfather, and we were just going to go up there, tell him an anecdote about himself, and kiss his damn ring, and let him have an adult beverage. That is not what was happened. He was forced to sit in the front row for a 2.5-hour show.
Awful.
Wayne
How can
Fetterman
you
was
do
my
that?
favorite.
Oh my God! I love Wayne Fetterman.
That's because Wayne Fetterman was tight.
Yeah.
He did not run the light.
Yeah.
He kept it tight, and it was it was very funny. It was kind of a little bit of the one roasty kind of thing he did. He said, "We're honoring the hardest working person here at the Improv tonight. It's Antonio." And because Antonio, Antonio, the
he's
guy,
the food guy.
yeah, the food
Yes.
guy delivers all the food, and also has been there for 40 years
Oh my
and should
God.
definitely have his own night.
Yes.
And then he told some stories about sort of Andy Dick and Anthony Clark, and that's what Wayne Fetterman did. And Eddie
What's Anthony Clark doing now?
Well, he was 86th from the Improv probably 16 years ago, or maybe.
But he had a TV show.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Is he?
I don't know. I never knew him. I know Andy Dick a little bit. I don't know.
I've met both of them, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'd know
Right.
me from anybody.
And so Keitlinger comes in. Laura Keitlinger comes in, and she's like, "I can't stay." And I was like, "That's my favorite."
Oh, that's how I'm gonna enter every room from now on. I can't stay.
She's like, "But I'd love to say hi to him." So Dan Dion brings Laura up toward Eddie because he's sitting in the front. She's like, and Dan just go hug him and say congratulations. Gary Cannon's on stage, and so she goes up and she just, she quietly says congratulations to Eddie and hugs him. Gary mentions her name. And so Laura jumps on stage, grabs the mic, takes her coat off, and does a couple of lines, and then gets off, and then hugs Eddie again, and then leaves. But it was definitely, she was my hero of the night, quite honestly, Laura Keitlinger.
I feel like a lot of you guys that were here in the 90s, you sort of have a relationship more with him,
With Eddie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's, and a relationship is stretching it. Just, I think
because there was only one room at the time, and so if you were at the Improv, you were at that in that location all the time.
Yes.
So you spent a lot of time kind of hanging out,
just
with him
hanging out,
talking
and
to him and stuff.
the fact that he remembers everyone's name is amazing.
Yeah.
And it was just, I wish he would have just sat there. And he could have moved around a little bit. Because, you ever sit in the front row of a comedy club?
Never, and I never will.
Nobody wants, you're
it's a
a hostage situation.
Yes.
It's not cool. And, but it was nice. And when I left, I said the same thing I always say, which is tell people I stayed till it was 4 a.m. Tell them I closed the place out.
Sure.
And,
I just remember Sebastian Maniscalco also presented.
Yeah. Right, at the WGA.
I don't know him, but
I have only met him once.
he is. I don't know how much that character on stage is him, or I don't know. I don't know the dynamic, right?
Right.
But,
And you have never seen his long set?
I don't think I have. I just seen stuff on Conan, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But he was on stage how exactly you think he is, which. You're in front of a room full of writers and half of them are dudes who would they have such a hard on for writing an Italian gangster part that I'm like, this is
and
genius.
he was raised He was raised with that accent.
Well, I bet he
is-
was.
yeah.
Yeah. So it is him or is it not? But he stayed in. He was like he mispronounced names, and I was like, I know they told him how to say Bob Fosse. I fucking know it, and I know he said Foss. I'm like, he's got to have done that on purpose because that's exactly what a fucking how you'd write an Italian gangster. I'll fucking say what I feel like.
Yeah.
Not that he had that attitude, but but I'm like, is this an audition for him? Because you've got great writers here watching you going, let me write that guy in something.
Yeah,
this guy that doesn't pronounce Bob Fosse's name right. This is the star of my next movie. That's what I think happened.
Uh-huh.
But he's so funny. He's always frowning, but it's a perfect if he is that or he decided to be that because they thought it was castable, it's fucking spot on.
I had a knee-jerk reaction. I watched his long set of Cobbs one night.
Oh, yeah.
And I ended up loving it. And this is probably 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
And because I think he's doing stadiums now.
Yeah,
but
I didn't hear of him until he had sold out Madison Square Garden. Like it was.
Yeah,
It's weird how that's
how many
happening.
comics there are. And
Yeah.
But when he got on stage, I was like, oh, what is with this Italian gentleman? And then like 20 minutes into his set, he started talking about his wife. And he had these great stories about his wife.
Yeah.
And they were stories of how much he likes her.
Yeah.
And how they connect and how they think about other people.
Yeah.
And how they sort of like, they make up little stories about other people. And I was like, oh no, I love this guy.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, it was such an interesting set that kind of weaved in some genuine humanity to it, right?
Right.
Because he wasn't that caricature through the whole thing, which I loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was in The Irishman.
Oh,
And he
was
was
he?
really good in The Irishman.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he was exactly what you think he would be, and he was great.
Oh, he was sort of typecast, and he did a great job. Yeah.
But I mean,
Bill Burr
can
was
have
typecast in The Mandalorian, and he did a great job.
nice.
Yeah.
If you're lucky enough to be typecast,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're an actor, I'm sure it must drive you nuts. But if you're a stand-up, it's like, yeah, I'll fucking do a version of what I do on stage.
Right? Did you like that
for a movie?
Yeah.
and then go back out on the road and do whatever the fuck I want.
Mm-hmm.
That's the dream life if you're a stand-up.
And you live here or New York or whatever.
Wherever. But I mean, it doesn't. I don't think it feels like typecasting like it does to actors, where they just
Right where they want
I
to
gotta show another
and-
side of myself.
Right. You want to do
Yeah.
the comic of the week?
Yes, Caitlin Reese.
Caitlin Reese, Reese, Caitlin with C.
Mm-hmm. Aitlin.
Right, and it's at the Caitlin Reese.
Mm-hmm.
I watched her All Jane set.
Yeah, very funny.
Very funny. She's really, really smart and funny, and
Yeah.
had some mom stuff. Had some. It was just really personal, good stuff. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch it just recently?
Yeah.
Okay, because I watched it when we first looked at her 2 months ago. I've
Oh,
already
really?
forgotten everything, but I know that I liked it.
Oh, there you go. Good job, Caitlin.
The good
Well
thing
played.
is if every audience could be as forgetful as I am, then I wouldn't feel guilty about performing material that they may have
and
seen.
repeating material and
Yes.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
So I'm a clean slate, Caitlin. Next time we work together.
Exactly. It's going to be great. I would like to be reintroduced to you if I could be.
And
She's Brooklyn comic. By the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, last week's comic of the week we couldn't find on Twitter, because she's not on Twitter that much. But it's Brooklyn Jones.
But it's an abbreviation of Brooklyn.
Oh, was that the problem?
That was the problem. It
Oh,
was BRKLYN, I think.
Gotcha. All right.
Something like that. But
Anyway.
so I'm looking to forward. We're going to do a comic of the week show
Yes.
at Flappers again.
March 23rd.
Yeah.
On a Monday night. We're going
Marcella?
to do Marcella's going to be there.
Rosie Tran?
Robin Tran.
Robin Tran. Who's
Yes.
Rosie Tran?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hi, Robin.
Robin Tran. I'm blanking.
Jackass.
Hannah Einbinder's going to be there.
Yeah, there was
Amy Anderson's going to be there.
nice.
Kimberly Clark's going to be there.
Oh, good.
I think that's everybody. Wait, there might be one or two more.
I think there's one or two more, but it's the 23rd. It's a Monday again, right?
Mhm.
And we'll host it.
We're going to host it.
Do some sets.
Yeah, and then you get
do
to
some
see,
spots.
6 killer 10-minute spots, and
Yeah.
then
Come to Flappers, 8
come to
o'clock.
Flappers, right? They have
And-
good food at Flappers.
Yeah, they do.
Very good.
I like, what do you enjoy? I like
sa-
the meatloaf.
I like salmon. I like tater tots. I
Okay.
like their French fries.
They do a meatloaf that also has chopped Italian sausage in it. It's a weird
Wow.
addition to a meatloaf where it's less loaf and more sausage.
Okay.
All right, I'm still talking. I'm a little punchy.
You should be. How much
I'm
time have
I'm
we
going to
had?
the punchline. 44.
Oh,
This
I
week.
saw. I saw.
Yeah. So San Francisco punchline Thursday, Friday, Saturday
Weren't
of this
you
week.
fucking a month and a half ago telling me you're out of the business because you
Yes.
don't have any work?
Yeah.
What happened?
It turns out all
I
you
never
have to
want
do
to
is
hear
say,
from you again.
I am out of the business. I don't have any work. And then all of a sudden you get 10 weeks of
Guess
work.
what? I'm out of the business in March. I have like a hiatus week that's unbooked, and I can't seem to book it.
Uh-oh.
We were supposed to try to confirm something with one club, and
Where
then
do you
they
want to
just
go?
went away.
Where do you want to go?
Any place.
Come on. Seattle? You want to do Seattle?
I'm doing Seattle in May.
Okay. So, right. I'm going to name towns, and you're going to be like, because you're already doing Minneapolis, right?
Yes.
What about Madison?
Yeah, I'd love
You'd
to do
love
Madison.
to do Madison. You should do Madison.
Well, it's next month. I'm sure they have it booked. Everyone
might have-
has
yeah.
their shit booked.
They might have their shit booked, but maybe they'll have a fallout. As I was talking to the managers over at Indiana Helium, and they've all listened to the Jackie and Laurie show. Hi, guys. And Avery used to work over at Morty's. And
Morty's.
Jason.
I did a set there once.
Right.
I
And
think when I was doing Bob and Tom or something, and I was
went
prepping
and did
for
Bob
Last
and Tom.
Comic Standing.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I was just out there doing Bob and Tom. I think I was working, I forget which club I was working. Maybe,
right.
was it?
There's one Crackers left.
I never worked Crackers.
Broad
It was
Ripple.
Dave Wilson's room, but I'm not sure if that was, whatever, who cares? It was
Right.
some room out there.
And so, well, Avery used to manage Morty's,
Okay.
and then Morty's went under.
Okay.
And then Crackers is still there, just Broad Ripple. And then the Helium, the other guy, Jason, the other manager, and I was like, you guys know Laurie Kilmartin, right? I'm talking you up
Thank you.
on the road. And I was like, yeah. I said, you guys should book us separately together, something.
Yeah.
And they were like, don't we? And I was like, no.
Don't we? Wait, what?
Aren't boots on the ground over there, buddy? You're right there. Have you seen?
You have your calendar open, right?
It's Mark. Mark books it. So, but yeah, I would love. It's such a great club. Quite
Really?
honestly, it's run correctly.
How far is the hotel from the club?
4 blocks,
Oh my god.
and it's all downtown.
Oh god.
And here's the thing.
You know-
I think when they put us up at the Westin,
Mm-hmm.
there's a Hampton Inn a block and a half away. I'm like, come on, put me in the Hampton Inn.
Is that better than the
I
Westin?
love a Hampton Inn.
Why?
Because it's a square, and I am the accidental tourist. I would like it to be exactly the same everywhere I go.
Oh, it's the same hotel all the time.
It's always, they nail it. They stick the landing. The Hampton Inn.
Here's the thing about Indiana. The University of Indiana.
Ball State? No, just
No,
University
no.
of Indiana.
University of Indiana has one of the greatest pools in the history of American swimming. They've always had nationals there.
Is that
Olympic
Bloomington?
trials? No, it's Indianapolis.
Okay.
It's the University of Indiana at
In
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
Get Bloomington out of your head. Get Ball State
Stick.
out of your head. I fucking told you. It's
Indianapolis?
in Indianapolis.
How long are the lanes?
Mary T. Maher
Not Mary T. Maher.
broke the world record for the women's 200 fly when she was 14 years old.
Did she
wait,
grow
was
up right
that in-
there?
That might have been in Deerfield, Wisconsin. But a lot of records have been broken at the Indianapolis pool.
I love
I
that.
want to swim there.
And you've never swum there?
I have
Okay,
back when
you
I
wanna
worked
swim there again?
Dave Wilson's room.
You'd like to
yes,
swim there
I'd love
again?
to go back. I'd love to do the pool again.
Yeah.
And
There's
the
a Kurt
club.
Vonnegut museum there, too. Maria went to it.
Oh,
Yeah. And I didn't. Because.
Is he
uh,
from there?
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess it's real depressing.
I bet.
Because he's a bit of a sad sack sometimes, Vonnegut. Yeah, I really didn't do anything. I ate at a P.F. Chang's in the last 4 days. That's what the club's amazing.
Right.
The sets, the shows themselves, I got a lot of good work done on
Yeah.
on the chunks I worked on.
Right, right.
And the audiences were wonderful, and we sold all of Maria's tea towels
Oh
and
my God.
probably 50 of her comic books. And then
Wow.
I sold like 50 T-shirts, 20 challenge coins with my dad's face on them that say never say no without a number. I brought 10 CDs, sold all of those.
Mm-hmm.
I sold meat shield pins. I probably added another 1,000. Every time I work with Maria, I sell I think I sold 29 meat shield. That's $290 towards $1,000 to donate to somebody.
Oh my God.
And then and I didn't bring any meat shield T-shirts. I should bring them, but I've got those 2 new designs now.
Yeah.
So I can only have so much crap on the table.
Nearly 2 decades ago, Commander Data sacrificed his life.
The Greatest Discovery is also about Star Trek Picard.
Jesse Thorne won't let us stay on the network unless we do all the Star Trek series, and so here we are, doing a show about maybe our favorite Star Trek character of all time.
If you're excited to watch the new Star Trek Picard series and you'd like some veteran Star Trek podcasters to watch it along with, we're your guys. Sorry you're stuck with us.
What the hell are you doing out here, Picard? Saving the galaxy?
So subscribe to The Greatest Discovery. You can find it anywhere you find podcasts.
Or at MaximumFun.org.
Can I recommend Raices? RAICES.
Oh, the Texas thing?
Yeah, they're helping.
You know what I call it? Racist Texas. I call it Racist Texas and Immigration Defense League, and I've already donated $2,000 to them.
Okay, great.
From the 10.
Yeah,
because I've donated $10,000 total in the last
amazing.
2.5 years.
Jackie,
So,
that's astonishing.
that's great, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also ACLU, Black Lives Matter, Sacramento.
Yes.
And the good people.
Sacra Tomato. That's what Dr. Don Roche used to call it.
What's that?
He was this DJ in San Francisco. That he was like a morning zoo kind of guy. And Jane Dornacker, I told you about her. She was a comic, and then she did the weather, and she did trains, and she got hired in New York and was on a helicopter that went down in the Hudson, and she died.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That's horrible.
Yeah, she's a single mom. And I think about her like every 2 weeks, and I wonder how her kid is doing.
Yeah.
Her kid's probably 40 or something.
Oh,
I have no
God.
idea. But so he used to say that. But that reminds me of helicopters.
Oh, the helicopter crash.
Oh my God. First of all,
that's right. It happened in between.
It's
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
And it happened when we were doing Comedy Brunch for Joyelle.
No, it happened before that.
But like literally,
it was sort
Virginia
of unfolding.
Jones and Cameron Esposito
Yeah.
showed up, sat down across from me, and they told me that Carmen and I had already been there. Virginia said that Kobe had died in a helicopter crash.
Well, okay. So TMZ had this headline of, others died, two. Like it was really one of those really bad one. So I took a screenshot of that. I took the Kobe out of it, and I just made a little comment like, never die with a famous person. Not knowing who was there.
Oh, right.
Anything. I was like, comic.
Too soon.
Comic. Here's the thing with comics. Like we have itchy trigger fingers. And especially.
And you're so fast with topical stuff. You're like, gotta get it out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, everyone's going to do this.
It's an itch that I have to stop scratching.
Right.
There's no winning. I don't get any money for it.
Right. Right.
I don't know. So as soon as there was a rumor, the first rumor was that all 4 of his kids are on board. I was like, what the fuck? And I went and deleted it immediately.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the truth comes out. And then Ari
Shafir
oh my God.
thought he would light himself on fire. And
listen,
and then double down.
Here's what's awful about social media is that there's nothing stopping you from your worst instincts, right? Like 20 years ago, you want to make a videotape. You have to set your camcorder up and you have to tape it, and then you copy it to VHS and then you mail it to people. Like you're not going to do a tape like that.
Right,
You're not going to say what Ari said, right?
Yeah.
It's just going to take too long.
You'd get bored.
Yeah. And there's no point to it, right? You're not going to tweet anything. There's no Twitter. You're like, oh, I'll write this joke. I'll try it tonight. 8 hours later, right?
Right.
And after that, you'll have information come in about who else is on it. Okay, maybe I won't do that joke now that I know all these things.
I had a John Ritter joke that was too soon.
Yeah.
Remember that crowd? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. But it's like we're
Instantaneous.
It's so bad for comics to have social media when something awful happens. It really is, because
Especially if you're a certain, and not even, I said a horrible thing
right
when it happened. So it wasn't.
the other thing I was like, when I heard it was him, I was like, he means very little to me. Okay.
Right, but he means so much to
That
so many.
was shocking.
It was shocking to
I
me
was
who
like,
was on board.
when you're on like looking at Twitter going, oh fuck, everyone's devastated. Because to me, I'm like, as soon as the rape stuff happened, I was like, oh, he's one of those guys.
Yeah.
Okay, he's an entitled male athlete. I fucking know these guys.
Right.
I swam with guys like this. I know them.
Right,
he's
right.
one of those guys. Got it. So that's it. He's a rapist. And in my head, that's where I put him.
Right.
And whenever people talk about Kobe or the Lakers, I'd be like, well, I guess you can forget. You know, like that thing you just judge.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess you're one of those guys that overlooks it. Okay, fine. Well, enjoy your Lakers.
Well, it turns out everybody overlooked it.
Not
And,
everybody.
No. Not
Yeah.
everybody,
But a
I
lot of
mean,
people.
So many people have overlooked it, and they sort of came.
Yeah.
I don't know what his life has been like, because that happened 10 years ago.
2004. Yeah, 2004. It was a while ago.
15, yeah. So, but the crazy, I mean, and my joke, but the thing is my joke was just dumb.
Yeah.
And I didn't tweet it because I think it was already too soon.
Right.
So I just said, I don't know anything about baseball. So, which was just a
Sure.
sport thing.
Sometimes
right?
you don't have to like sometimes you just want to get a little riff out there.
Yeah,
it
just
doesn't
a
have
riff.
to like change comedy.
Right. It doesn't, and it's and
Here's my take on what you guys are all crying about.
right, and some people are crying about it.
Oh, and here's the thing that kind of afterwards I started liking him more, seeing the kind of father he was.
Yeah, he was attentive and
Yes,
yeah.
and what was really
It was just how many kids were on?
4. He has
four
there
kids.
was 3 kids on the plane on the helicopter. 3 girls going to the basketball game, including his daughter Gigi.
Okay.
Who it seemed like, this is the other thing, like she was gonna be fucking WNBA superstar. Like the WNBA needed her, right? I mean, it's a
there
success
was some clip
story,
of
but
her
it could be
shooting
more of a success.
basketball, I think.
Yes, and
Yeah.
he would have been at all. It would have been amazing, right? Okay, whatever. That's separate tragedy. But I mean, just watching all the video with him with the daughters, and the reason he took the helicopter, besides the fact that he could afford it, is that he didn't want to be in the car all day. He wanted to go back and be with his kids. And I'm like, oh, I totally
Doesn't
fucking
he always
get that.
like that? That was how he commuted.
Why the fuck
right?
he lived in Santa Ana or whatever? I don't know. Yeah.
Calabasas.
No, he didn't. He lives in like the Irvine area. The plane went down in like near Thousand Oaks. He has. Right, they have like a basketball studio, or not a studio, a center.
Okay.
It was the
A sport
For
center.
some reason, I know about this shit.
Sure. He's got a stage. That's where they keep their basketball costumes.
Oh my god.
I'll write down basketball costumes. I'm not above it.
anyway, no, but he lived in Orange County,
Okay.
which I find unnecessary. I don't understand it, but whatever. Maybe her family's from there, the wife's family, Vanessa. Anyway,
Right. What excuse could there be? What would make them do it?
But then, so after, and you've seen all that stuff, I was like, oh God. And then, of course, with everything, it was
Undo.
awful.
And then,
But Ari, poor Ari. Now he also didn't know that kids had, died,
Okay.
and he also didn't. This is we got to learn these lessons. When there's a plane crash, there's more than one person on board.
right.
We can't jump in with our jokes before we find out who else is on board.
This is a thing I think they learn in improv that they don't learn in stand-up comedy, because improv
Yeah.
is more instantaneous, right?
Right.
And so when have you ever taken? And I'm sure we've had this conversation 1,000 times, is when you see good improv, there are people that are so comfortable on stage, they know they're not going to take the low-hanging fruit.
Right.
That it's going to be It's going to be interesting, if not always hilarious.
I've never
it'll be
seen that
super
kind of improv where they don't take the low-hanging fruit, but I'm sure it exists.
If you
And,
saw Matt Besser and Sean Conroy
no,
do
I know
stand-up
Brian
comedy,
Stack is a
yeah,
genius. Okay.
right. I mean, if you saw long-form weird, it's weird and it's more theatrical than anything, but it is in the moment. And at no time was I afraid Matt Besser or Sean Conroy were gonna say something racist or sexist or just low-hanging fruitish, right? Because of 25 years of doing improv.
Sure.
So, but I think it's more of a learned skill in improv than stand-up.
Well, I think the learned skill is going, okay, I need to
Pause.
Pause.
Yeah.
Pause.
That's
It's
it.
hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking hard.
And that
But,
is a learned skill.
You know,
Yeah.
restraint, any kind of crash, there's going to be more than the celebrity you're going to make fun of.
Yep.
These are just rules you have to tell yourself so that you don't jump on Twitter and fucking ruin your career.
Right.
You know,
Don't blow up.
other people are going down too. Right. And you can do your, was it Tony Hinchcliffe had a joke, something like Kobe passing. It's hard to believe, which,
Oh my God. That is a solid
yes. Now,
basketball joke.
who did he think of it immediately? I don't know. I don't know if he sat on it for a little bit. You know,
Right.
that seems like one that maybe takes a little cooking.
Sure.
Either way, whatever. So Ari's,
But
death threats and Kobe fan. I mean, you've seen from the outpouring, these people. Kobe fans are fucking intense and they are angry.
Right.
And you can't blame the dead, really. You can't blame the helicopter pilot.
No.
So who can I get mad at? Oh, this fucking comic. And Ari didn't help himself because nothing he said was like in joke form. It's not like even a dark joke you could defend structurally.
It's just weird
like
slam.
It was a rant, and his thing of I always do this. It's like, I know you do, but here's the thing: like it when you're doing it for your fans who know you,
Right, and he has 215,000 followers.
but everyone could see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And other people are going to
that's
go
their
look at
first introduction to you.
Uh-huh.
It's so hard. It's so hard to not want to be. You just want to jump in and be first.
Mm-hmm.
I totally understand it. We're
But
all. I
he's
swear to
got
God, we're all.
He's got a troubled history of just
He
blurting
does.
shit.
But a lot of comics
He's a
do.
blurt.
There's so many comics we know that are self-sabotaging, and including ourselves.
Right, but not at that level.
No, he's high level self-sabotage.
Right.
But
He lost his own fucking show on Comedy Central.
I know.
So.
He pays prices.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know a ton of I know I've seen quite a few comics have careers like that where you just like, oh, don't do that,
Well,
but I mean, we could be that comic to somebody else. Some female comic could be listening. Oh, shut up, you guys! Stop it.
yeah. Well, once you fucking hang up. No, I'm kidding.
Well, how much time have we done?
Yeah, that's good.
Bye.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned. Audience supported.